Hello and a very warm welcome to my channel. This afternoon, we give you a piece of breaking news, revealed terribly sad from Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, and Archie's grandpa, Prince Charles. The Prince of Wales opened up about the difficulties of lockdown from his Aberdeenshire home of Markle in a new interview with Sky News for their series after the pandemic, Our New World, which aired last night. Prince Charles has spoken movingly about missing his grandchildren during the lockdown, as he said he is terribly sad he hasn't been able to see his family in person in months. The heir to the throne revealed how much he wants to give family members a hug, and mentioned missing Prince Philip as well as his grandchildren, Prince William's children Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis and Prince Harry's son Archie. Asked how he had found it being disconnected from his family, he explained, "Well, it's terribly sad, let alone one's friends. But fortunately, at least you can speak to them on telephones and occasionally do this sort of thing. But it isn't the same, is it? You really want to give people a hug. I do totally understand so many people's frustrations, difficulties, grief, and anguish." He and the Duke of Edinburgh, who turns 99 next week, have been 500 miles apart during the crisis, with the Prince at Markle in Scotland and his father with the Queen at Windsor Castle. Prince William and his children are currently living in Norfolk, while Prince Harry and his son Archie have spent lockdown in Los Angeles. In an unusually personal interview to launch his post-pandemic Green Initiative, the Prince discussed how difficult the lockdown has been for all families. "I haven't seen my father for a long time," he said. "He's going to be 99 next week, so yes, or my grandchildren or anything. I've been doing FaceTime, which is all very well, but..." He said he hopes families can be reunited soon. "I do hope so," he added. "I am just trying to do my best to find and help and encourage ways to enable people to go on doing that, but in a way that doesn't wreck everything at the same time around us." He said the last 2 months had been an unbelievably testing and challenging time, adding, "I know that so many people have had the agony of losing their loved ones and the bewilderment and anxiety that surrounds everything. We've seen at the same time people being quite remarkable and wonderful people in the National Health Service and all the other key workers who kept everything going." The royal also touched on his own experience with COVID-19 during the crisis, telling royal correspondent Rhiannon Mills, "I was lucky in my case and got away with it quite lightly. But I've had it, and I can so understand what other people have gone through." Prince Charles added, "First feel particularly for those who have lost their loved ones and have been unable to be with them at the time. That to me is the most ghastly thing." He added, "But in order to prevent this happening to so many more people, I am so determined to find a way out of this." Prince Charles was diagnosed as having COVID-19 following a test on the NHS in Aberdeenshire in March of this year. Fortunately, he only suffered what were described as mild symptoms and carried on working throughout. Royal sources said the prince was in good health throughout his illness and his self-isolation lasted 7 days in accordance with government and medical guidelines. Despite the mild nature of his brush with the virus, Prince Charles revealed that it has helped him empathize with others throughout the pandemic. Prince Charles went on to explain that the crisis could offer a moment of opportunity for the environment. He explained, "People have begun to realize that we have to put nature back at the center of everything we do and put it at the center of our economy. Before this, nature has just been pushed to the peripheries, we've exploited and dug up and cut down everything as if there was no tomorrow, as if it doesn't matter." The Prince of Wales went on to say that without learning from this pandemic, there may be more to come from in the future, commenting, "The more we erode the natural world, the more we destroy biodiversity, the more we expose ourselves to this kind of danger. We've had these other disasters with SARS and Ebola and goodness knows what else, all of these things are related to the loss of biodiversity. So, we have to find a way this time to put nature back at the center. We should have been treating the planet as if it was a patient long ago. No self-respecting doctor would ever have let the situation, if the planet is a patient, reach this stage before making an intervention. It's only catastrophes that concentrate the mind, which means, that for once, there might be some real impetus to tackle all these things that have been pushed to one side because everyone said, oh, it's irrelevant. But these are crucial things." Speaking about his experience with the disease, he said it had reinforced his belief in the causes he champions, saying, "It makes me even more determined to push and shout and prod." It comes as the Prince of Wales urged businesses to seize the golden opportunity of the coronavirus pandemic to rebuild in a sustainable and green way as he launched the Great Reset project. Prince Charles unveiled the initiative yesterday, which is designed to ensure businesses build back better as they begin to recover from the crisis. The prince, who has been championing environmental causes for decades, stressed the need not to miss the chance for a green recovery and a more sustainable future, urging people to think big and act now. And many fans also comment on this news. One said, regardless of his position in society, he's still a loving granddad missing the simple things in life, his sweet grandchildren. Millions of grandparents must be feeling the heartache of their missed cherished grandkids. Each passing year my admiration and respect for HRH the Prince of Wales grows. He's done his best by his sons and is clearly a loving grandfather and devoted son to his much-loved mother. But a fan replied to him, sadly there won't be any hugs from Archie anytime soon. Me again won't let him come over here, and Prince Charles is hardly going to pop to LA for a cuddle. Members of the public have got more chances to see their beloved families than Prince Charles with respect to Archie. Sorry, Your Royal Highness, your grandson Archie will know Jessica Mulroney and Oprah more than he will ever know you. Meestain only wants a celebrity presence for her kid. Another added, I bet he is a loving grandfather to William's 3 children. Such a shame Harry selfishly prevents him from seeing Archie by refusing to visit when he was in the UK. Charles, you must stop paying money to Harry and Meghan, they really do have to learn to live within their means and stand on their own 2 feet. The British public does not want to pay anything for H&M anymore. They left the UK of their own free will and are not welcome back anymore. Meanwhile, the next fan wrote, he can't win. If he remains reserved and says nothing, he's uncaring. If he shares what he feels, he's wearing his heart on his sleeve. Prince Charles grew up in an era when being demonstrative was frowned on. He had a distant relationship with his mother and attended a school where he was unmercifully bullied and dreaded going back to. Good for him to empathize and care about people's genuine situations during this COVID nightmare. However, a fan said, I want to hear Harry and Meghan say out loud how they want to be financially independent while putting their mitts out for more and more of Prince Charles' money to keep them up. And living in someone else's $15 million home in Los Angeles. It belongs to Tyler Perry. The deal was arranged by Oprah. Hopefully, he will soon be able to hug 3 of his grandchildren. You know, the lucky ones whose parents are not selfish, spiteful leeches who callously use them as bargaining chips at best, and weapons at worst. But, the third wrote, I doubt the virus is entirely to blame for his lack of hugs with Archie. I will go as far to say it suits the child's parents very well that there is no contact with his paternal family. Contrast that with the many grandparents and grandchildren going through a very distressing time of separation and you realize how unnatural and unforgiving a situation the little boy is in. How it can be explained to him at an age of understanding is beyond understanding. But a fan replied to this comment, I can't blame Prince Charles for feeling this way at all. It has to hurt to be 6,000 miles away from your grandchildren, especially young grandchildren. You can thank your daughter-in-law and whimsy son for taking your grandson to Beverly Hills. Missing those formative years in a grand must be awful. Too bad their move was for Meghan Markle and her non-existent acting career. But the last one wrote, I am sorry, but as far as I am concerned this is over. If thousands of people can congregate together and ignore all the so-called social distancing rules and the cops and MPs do nothing, then how can they expect the rest of us to comply? I am getting on with my life now as normally as possible. Sure, I have to queue for food and lots of places are still shut and oh, I've lost my job it looks like, but we're getting family and friends round, those that will come who are not terrified, and well be visiting others. So Charlie, go and see the kids, you can afford the fines after all, you've still got a job. And you? What do you think about this news? Please let me know in the comment section below and we talk about him. You can like and share my video if you feel so loved with it. And subscribe to my channel to get more news from the royal family by me. Now, have a nice day and see you in the next videos.